In Berlin, I could find a sense of belonging. And I was so depressed in Paris. I was really stuck and depressed, and I didn't know what I was doing. And, it's super expensive, Paris also. I found here kind of a home, a family, a tribe. At the beginning, when I was partying in clubs and I thought I was free, I realized after that it was just an illusion.
My guest today is Sabrina Jeblaoui, a photographer, storyteller, and soul searcher behind the project NachtClubsBerlin. In this episode, we explore what brought her to Berlin, the darkness she faced once here, and how she continues to work through her past while finding purpose and healing in this city she now calls home.
What did you find in Berlin that you didn't find anywhere else?
I feel that in Berlin, there are a lot of traumatized people who lived very traumatic experiences like me. So I find some weirdos, some people who are thinking out of the box, some artists that are going beyond the norms, some people who are really connected to something much bigger. And I would say the magician, they are doing the magic. They are just wild, and they are raw, and this is really what I found here, kind of a home, a family, a tribe. I mean, it was not always community vibe, and I'm super feeling connected to everyone. No, that's not true, because I felt a lot of loneliness. And this is because of this loneliness that I could grow and I could follow my path.
There's a lot about these two contrasts about this city, about freedom, but at the same time, loneliness. What have you learned about it, and also about these two contrasts in between, on one side, freedom, but in the other side, loneliness?
At the beginning, when I was partying in clubs and taking a lot of substances, I thought I was free, because I could access my spiritual side. I could feel connected to others. And I could also numb my pain. So I would go to clubs. I feel connected to the crowd because we were always in an altered state of consciousness, and we were super flying high somehow.
Yeah.
But I realized after that it was just an illusion. That to be free is to be committed and structured and to follow my heart and my art, and to really free myself from limiting beliefs, from trauma, from stuck emotions in my body. I really feel that freedom is really a deep commitment towards something greater, where you really help yourself first, and then you can help and serve the world.
Moving to Berlin at the beginning was like escape at the beginning,
Yes.
and then you transformed that in a sense of freedom because you were trying to escape of all of these demons, and within that you get sometimes
Yes.
lost in the club culture or the substance scene.
Yes.
Until you really find your purpose, and then through your purpose find your freedom. Has it been your journey like that?
I could find a tribe and a family and people like me, people who suffered a lot, who were super also creative, people who really touched my soul, but we were just all projecting out on trauma also. So in a way, I felt like I was belonging, because for me, belonging, I never felt I belonged somewhere due to my past and my trauma.
Where exactly in south of France you come from?
Perpignan is next to the
Perpignan.
border with Spain, and not
Okay.
far from Barcelona.
And how would you describe growing up there?
I would say it was chaotic in a sense. Emotionally, I was really missing a lot of, I was not super stable emotionally, of course, because I didn't grow up with my parents. I went to a foster family who was really nice, but I also, I was not really rooted or grounded. So this was chaotic in a sense, but also very beautiful because I grew up in a village by the sea, so I could go to the sea every day. And I had angels on my way, I would say.
Is that you mentioned a lot of trauma, and that these years has been a process or a journey of healing those traumas? Are those coming from those early days?
Yes. I mean, my parents were drug dealers. My parents were drug addicts. I grew up with them until my 4. And then I went to an institution and then a foster family.
When you were 5?
Yeah,
So,
5.5, yeah. And then at 17, I went to Paris and so on, and 24, I moved here. So, yeah, I had a lot of emotional baggage and trauma, and it was not easy. I mean, it was not an easy way. And finally now I can find a bit of lightness, and I'm super happy to do this project by myself and to transform it into some light.
Do you remember the first portrait you did outside a club?
Yes. I mean, it's my profile picture. I mean, it's from the first session, I would say. It's one of my favorite picture that I took. It was this DJ, this Russian DJ who went out of Berghain, and he was about to go into the taxi, and I was convincing him. I was like, "Hey, I want to take a photo of you, please." He said, "Yeah, but I know my face." And I say, "Yeah, just do that." And then it became this photo, like the guy just before coming into the taxi. I love this photo.
When you arrived here, did you know that it was the place where you wanted to be from the first moment? What was the thing that attracted you in that first day that you came to the city?
So first I knew Berlin before because I was visiting my best friend. And I was coming here, I was partying, I had a lot of fun with her and her friends, and I was like, wow, that's amazing here. It's cheap, it's big, there is nature, there is cool parties, you can meet any kind of person here. And I was so depressed in Paris. I was really like stuck and depressed, and I didn't know what I was doing and how I could get out of this stress of, it's super expensive, Paris also.
So you felt like you were just working to survive.
Yeah, and I even didn't know what to do. The last job I had was freelance for a startup. I mean, it was okay, but it was not at all my thing. And then I came here with my last salary, I let everything in Paris, and my friend really rent me very, very cheap room in her apartment in Prenzlauer Berg.
Okay.
So, and then I could from there find a job in customer service at Zalando, and then find a Wege, and then get out into this hall of partying and.
Yeah. I have heard a lot of the word tribe. What is the difference when you talk about a community or a tribe?
That's a good question. I mean, everyone is talking about community, me included, but the tribe is more like tribal. It reminds me when we are on the dance floor, in a rave, in the forest, in a festival, and we are like all dancing all together. And tribe is also very shamanic for me, and I feel that also in me, like I feel very connected to Pachamama and to the earth and to the drum. And tribe is also another word for family, but from the earth, that we are all coming from the same source somehow. And that's so beautiful.
It's like when they say that you are a reflection of the 5 people you surround you with. It's like your tribe is those 5 people, because those are the ones like molding your character.
Yeah, but for me, the tribe is more like very open. So, for example, when I'm for my newsletter, I say join the tribe, because it's more like you're welcome, everyone is welcome, but it's like if you come here, it's with love and with family. Community, yes, it's a bit mainstream in a way. I love also community in the world, but
sometimes the only thing that
It's just digital.
Capitalists, yeah, they call community to their clients. Join the community. And it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
those are just your clients. And
Community manager,
Yeah,
community,
exactly.
yeah. So it became a bit,
Yeah.
everyone as a community.
Exactly.
We'd like to thank one of our sponsors, WonderTax, for supporting this podcast. WonderTax makes filing your tax declaration in Germany simple, so you can easily claim your tax refund. Try it out for free and only submit if you're completely satisfied. Visit gutentag.wundertax.de or check the link in the description. Now, back to the conversation.
Going back to your project, to your work, and of the picture that you take to people, you say to the misfits from society, to those who come here to find freedom or to escape from their traumas or heal their traumas. How much of your childhood and family story is present when you take a picture?
It's kind of, I always was thinking for connection with people. So really, I could not feel alone because I felt super lonely when I was a little kid. I didn't have the first care from my parents, the correct care. So for me, I learned to be by myself all the time, and it was hyper independent.
Yeah.
I was hyper independent.
Yeah.
But so for me, it was a way to, then I serve others. I put light on others. I can connect also with them in this moment through photography or through video. I love deep conversation also for the.
Yeah,
it was perfect for me. And now I'm happy to step up in the light after all the healing I've done.
Yeah, and you said also you were not back then taking pictures of their outfits or anything. It was more like about the energy. That's what you said, right?
Yes. And it was me in the moment, like, didn't think too much, just acting like very with my body and the energy. That's why maybe the tribe, So very like, I'm here present. I'm kind of a meditation, no? And I connect with someone and I get a little smile because I love really, for example, in my daily life, how can I make people smile now in Lidl or in the supermarket?
Yeah.
It's like kind of a mission, no? A play.
Yeah.
So how can I put a bit of light in this world?
Yeah, especially with angry waiters in restaurants or or in Netto.
And then when you just take it as a game and you just transform it and you're like, oh, you give a compliment or you ask a question and then you're like, oh, you feel the energies like a little bit better.
I remember once I was in a restaurant. I was with some friends and we had a very bitter waiter, and he was like with a face. And I had a friend and he said, "I'm gonna make this waiter laugh." And I'm in that mission. I thought, how cool is it? You take that as a challenge and not like feeling offended or victim. Oh, again, another rude waiter. He said, no, I'm going to make him laugh. And he's just trying to make jokes or anything just to make him smile at least a little bit.
The thing is like, it's being aware that it's never against you. Like, it's because they are challenged or it's just a projection. So if you give some light, then you will receive some light in a way. If you give some love to someone, if someone is feeling bad or very angry or sad, it's because he doesn't see his own love and project that to the world, no?
Sure. You used to party a lot.
Yeah.
You don't anymore.
Rarely. I do but more in the sober way. Like if I use a substance, I use psychedelics in a microdosing way.
But what made you stop or to decide to stop and change your rhythm? Because I imagine then before it was like a bit more hardcore.
Yeah.
Would you say?
The first months were really hardcore, and I met a guy. I mean, before meeting this guy, I was realizing, okay, first winter in Berlin, or I go into the hole and I cannot go back. And I just realized, okay, I'm doing like my parents, but in a other way, in a cool way, because everyone is doing that here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just realized I had this moment of consciousness, okay, I have to take care of myself. I started a little bit like journaling and meditation. Back in the days, I didn't even know how to meditate 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then I met this this boyfriend, and who was that, and I was like, okay, stop.
Mm.
I'm just like, I will stop. And I stopped with him for 3 years and a half. Then I started this project in the meantime. And then after the breakup, I started again
To club
to
or
club, but in a more nice way, but still a bit.
was there a particular experience that made you realize that maybe you were going too far?
Uh, I think, I guess it was the first winter when I arrived. I
Mm.
really realized, like, because I was surrounded by people who I could not trust at all. I had some bad experience with, yeah, some people, and I was left by myself, high on drugs after a party, like after partying so many hours, and I was like alone,
Mm.
and I felt betrayed and bad. And this moment, it was so horrible. And then sometimes I would go to bed full of anxiety, by taking a lot of drugs, and I was like, it's not. And I always have a lot of dreams and
Mm.
ambition, and I
Yeah.
always had these guides. And somehow, I don't know, I think I'm protected in a way, because I just realized, like, okay, I have to make something for.
Did that affect how you see the drug culture now? Somehow?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one day I was partying hard in the Oputesa, and I was super high, and then I had a flashback of image of my parents on the dance floor.
Mm.
And this also was also a wake-up call, like, yeah. So yes, and I think thanks to my parents, I
Mm.
could save myself from that, because I was like, I was, no, I have my dreams. I want,
What were your dreams back then? Are still the same dreams that you have now?
I mean, my dream when I was a kid was to be a singer, to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's maybe not about singing, but it's about expressing and about being seen and connected. Yeah. So I'm kind of living a dream
Yeah.
more and more and more and more.
Now that you said that in that moment that you felt yourself in the club, alone and under the effects of a lot of substances, where you don't know what, I mean, it can be dangerous because you don't know who can take advantage of that.
Mm.
Could be any guy there or taxi driver. You never know, right?
But at this, I always felt kind of safe, like
Mm-hmm.
in that. I was always like, I'm alone because of my trauma. I'm by myself. I'm wild. I'm alone. I don't know. I have
Uh-huh.
this strength within me that I had. It's just that I felt betrayed by some people, or,
Mm.
I never feel
You felt like it was not genuine.
connection. No, I
Okay.
felt something was wrong. And I was like, you go back home and no one is calling. You
Mm.
feel this emptiness, and you go down and you're like, okay, it's not the solution. But then you cannot realize that you're in this loop, because you go to work 40 hours a week for a job that you don't like, and then you go to party 20, 30 hours, and then it's that, for some months. I mean, I didn't do that much. I mean, I think I was like, I did some months very hard,
Mm-hmm.
and then reasonably, I would say, and now I'm good.
You said that now with the years you have healed and also you have changed a lot your lifestyle. What changes are those? And is there something that you miss from your previous lifestyle?
I change a lot in the way that I am more confident, and I know my value more and more. I mean, the way is still ongoing. The healing is forever, but I am feeling like a warrior, Like somehow I'm like, wow. And I'm proud of myself when I look back. I'm like, wow, you did a great job, you know. And I'm so grateful that I met so many also angels in my way, like people who could help me. I found a way to have therapy, like in exchange. I used to exchange, photo session for therapy, and I just decided. I just decided I have to heal. Like I have to take care of myself. I cannot live this life. I was like really stubborn. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to have the best life possible for my little me,
Yeah. Some
That's
couple.
why I created Swap Your Skills Girls. This is a Facebook group
Yeah.
for women in Berlin.
Mhm.
And it's because I was broke.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn something. I wanted to receive also. How can I do? And then I swap services. And then this group
So in
grew.
this community, you say I can make photo sessions, and another person can say I can
Yeah, it gives
do
you this.
hairstyle, for
Yeah,
example, and then you can.
yes, exactly. That's how I got a lot of therapy session. So with so many people,
Wow.
I did a lot of different kind of therapy. I was like kind of exploring this world and doing what I can, like to heal the best.
You said that drugs. In one interview I read, the drugs give you the feeling of freedom, but later you saw that it was just an illusion. So, do you think that a lot of people is trying to search some sort of freedom through drugs, and what are they getting wrong?
I mean, there are a lot of good side of drugs that I also experiment, that I could connect with spiritual realms, like with I could do some connection in my head. For example, when you take MDMA, you have this, you're really connected to your heart and you like feel the love. And there is, they can give you this glimpse of what what is possible somehow. But when you are stuck in this loop and when you're taking this substance and it's chemical or every weekend, then it's damage your body and your energy. It's really take your energy.
What do you think is what people are looking at when they go party and they take something?
Connection.
Yeah.
They want to connect with themselves, with the music, with the people around them, with the DJ, with everything. They want to connect and with their spirit.
Do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
Yeah, totally. I'm crisis. And I'm also like spiritual. I feel everyone is spiritual.
What is the part that has been harder for you in Berlin? Has it been easier or harder to connect spiritually in the city? Because in a way, it can be like a very urban and noisy capitalist and so on.
I think because the energy is everywhere, like it's super intense and everywhere. There is no one center in the city somehow. It's like the energy is here and there. I mean, you are forced to be by yourself again, to face yourself in the city. So you know a lot of people. I mean, I would know a lot of people, but sometimes I feel with who I can hang out. So I stay home. I take some walk in Prenzlauer Berg alone every Sunday. I used to have this, mm, this feeling of loneliness in the city, which lead me to go within me, asking me the question. Because when you're like alone,
of course, a lot of people moving here trying to find their tribe, but at the same time, many of them come here to find love. But love in Berlin is something that is apparently very hard to find, because I didn't experience that problem, but I have talked to a lot of people there. All say that dating in Berlin is one of the hardest things, or one of the cities where it's like super hard.
Because people have to date themselves. They have to love themselves. If you're just looking for love outside, it's not going to happen. So I understood that during all these years. I'm like, I was always searching for love outside. I know that very well. But then at some point when you get rejection and betrayal and stuff like that, you have to take responsibility of your life. Otherwise, you repeat the story over and over. And I just had the awareness, and the strength or the stubbornness to go and look inside, even if it was painful, because going to therapy, plant medicine ceremonies, going to do the work is about facing your pain and your shadows, and it's not comfortable.
Do you experience or do you have many bad experiences dating in the city?
I don't want to say there are bad or good experiences, because for me there are experiences with a lot of wisdom in each experience. Everyone that I dated were a mirror for me. So
in which sense?
if I didn't love myself, I would attract guys who ghost me. If I was super needy, always people who avoid me, it was always a mirror. People are mirrors. Just, it's a reflection. People are a reflection of yourself. So, okay, then why this guy is avoiding me? Why? And a long time ago, I thought for so many years, because it's my body, because it's this, because it's that. But no, at the end, I was like, because my energy is needy. My, uh, and it's needy because I needed love when I was a kid, and my heart was so protected and overprotected that I was going into this mechanism of neediness. But this you have to check. That's why for me spirituality, I would say it saved my life in a way. Going into this topic, because I could just reflect on myself. Okay, what does this person is reflecting to me?
I think a lot of people nowadays are trying to reconnect spiritually, because I think this is something that we lost during the couple of decades on science wins over spirituality. And then we were like celebrating that God is dead. We don't need anything of spirituality. And we're starting to see that either people are looking for other paths for spirituality where are outside of religion, or going back to some sort of like a religious community to try to connect to this stuff, that because we were left alone, we removed the spirit. Everything becomes materialistic. Everything is science. Everything is neurons. And leaves you some sort of empty.
Yes. That's totally. It's my favorite topic. So, yeah, and they did. When I say dead, like the governments and all the people who have the money. For me, this is my point of view, but they did that on purpose to separate us, to create separation between people, between their spirits. Because how powerful it is to be connected to your spirit, then you can materialize everything you want and you can just manifest whatever. So they cut people from their magic, and people are starting to wake up now, and everyone, for me, my life is more and more magical because I'm waking up from my magic. I'm like, oh my God, actually, I don't have to run after things. I don't have to exhaust myself to have a house or to have money. I just can relax being in my intuitive, power.
Enjoy the present.
Enjoy the present, then you meet the right people at the right moment, and you just live a life of flow. I'm still practicing, right? But we're all practicing. But it's and in Berlin, I feel there are a lot of magic, because we are a lot of people trying to
reconnect spiritually.
Yes.
I find very interesting also that many of the practices that now we see nowadays that try to reconnect to yourself or spiritually again to yourself are very similar to the ones I grew up by growing up
In Mexico.
in Mexico and in a religious and inside of a religious community. For example, the whole meditation would be your morning prayers, your gratitude that you sometimes write. What are you grateful for? Will be your night prayer when you say, I'm grateful for this, for the day. Your affirmations that you call are also your prayers on what do you want to manifest, or those declarations of faith that you will say, I'm gonna be, or everything's gonna be fine. And all of those stuff I find very connected to all of those practices that for hundreds of years people have done. And now we have reflected that. What's a reason or an inner reason that were there, not just because an institution was telling them they have to do it. They will read as well as now you will read also books, or you will do your morning reading, you will do your devotionals, and all of those stuff. I find that like very interesting that it reconnects to those things that we have always had since centuries in the past.
Yes, and then people perverted religion, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to have power.
Yeah.
And it's about the ego and having more and more and more. And I live in a church, now in Berlin since 4 or 5 years, with priests next to me. And it's amazing. The vibe is amazing. I reconnect also there with my spirituality. And I mean, I'm not religious, but it's the same for me. I mean, I don't need to go to the mass to pray, but I can pray with myself and empower myself.
Yeah. When you do the interviews with, I mean, I was listening to a lot of the interviews you have in your channel. What is you said that you record for like a long conversation, and you just pick those moments that you put out there.
I do. So first I take a coffee with the person. So I take an appointment. I take a coffee where we talk super deep about life, trauma, etc. I also share my life with them. And then we pick some topics, 2 or 3 main message. And then I take my phone and I record.
Is there any story there that had captured your mind?
I would say, Nicola, who were taking G, was really touching for me because he was talking about
choosing not to take G anymore was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. 3 months into my sobriety from G, I then started experiencing very deep temptations to take G again. Believe it or not, a catastrophic event happened where my brother died. The same night I wanted to take G again, and I got a text message that my older brother had died from a lethal drug overdose of fentanyl. And I was in the middle of a nightclub, literally about to bump a line, and I got that text message on my phone. Imagine. In that moment, I just knew I have to get my shit together now. I have to get my shit together now because I didn't even know my brother was never taking drugs. He was never known to take drugs. So we were dealing with 2 crazy addictions at the same time, and neither one of us knew. That's what really
Yeah, I was so touched first because it's a gift to receive that. And it's so courageous that, he could transform also everything into some more light. And now he's doing like techno ballet and he's leading he's amazing. And he went through the hell and he's doing amazing stuff. So I'm really proud of him as I'm really proud of myself, it's just a mirror. So I was really touched by his story.
Yeah. I think I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
What is G?
GHB. This is quite dangerous. Don't take it. It's I don't know even how to explain. He explained well in the video. It's like dissolvent for cars, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really attacking. Chemical, and they take it like
drops.
Yeah,
What does it do to you? You? And what does it do to you?
It makes you very wild, horny. Like I don't know.
Okay, but very dangerous in that case. Yeah.
Because if you cannot mix with alcohol, also if you can very easily overdose. So, I mean, I was in a club one day in the Grissmüller, and they were like, I was on ketamine, and I was like seeing these guys taking G, and I was like, this was an horror story. Like, I didn't really enjoy that, and I was like, wow, that's intense. That's destructive. Wow. So yeah, I don't want also to judge the people. It's not my goal, but yeah.
Do you think there's a way to talk about substances in nightlife without judgment, but also without pretending that is harmless?
We have, I think, to understand the reason why these people cannot get out of it and why they take it, trying to be open-minded, ask questions. I think there are a way always with love to talk about this topic, to not judge and to just understand them with empathy, that it's because they want to feel connected and they want to feel loved. That's always the reason, why people...
There's always something there is missing that they're trying to fill with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have never tried anything in my life.
Good for you. Or not good, I don't know. You decide.
I didn't even try. I didn't even try weed in my life, and it's always the thing that a lot of artists use and then you see what they do, and then you're like, I have a very ADHD brain, which cannot go so deep to create a perfectionist piece of anything that I'm doing as I would like to, because my mind will get distracted at some point and will not go as deep. And I wonder if these people can open parts in their brain where normally we cannot go, and therefore they create this kind of impressive kind of pieces of art or music. I mean, I wonder, when I listen to rock of the 80s, and you remember that guitar solos were a thing back then, and they were amazing. And I was listening today, I was at the gym, and then they put like the Sweet Child O' Mine from Guns N' Roses. And then this is the part of the solo. And I think, how this guy came up with that guitar solo is like, I can understand if you hear it and you practice it and reproduce it, but how do you come to the first time to create that?
I mean, it's just, being in the present moment. So I think substances can bring you in the present moment and into your heart sometimes. And also psychedelics will help to connect some new neural pathway in your brain. So you can create new connection and you can open more to creativity.
Did you go to Mexico for the ayahuasca experience?
I did peyote ceremonies, but not in Mexico, in Brandenburg.
Brandenburg.
But I won't tell the name.
It's a secret Telegram channel and location and everything. How was your experience with it?
So I did peyote ceremonies with Mexican shaman.
Okay.
De verdad.
Okay.
And also ayahuasca with a Colombian shaman. And it was out of space and it's medicine.
I've heard that people, when they tell their experiences, it's like they see things from their childhood, or they go to feelings and they see it with images, and sometimes, like you say, they heal in some points, or they understand that, especially when people they're chasing something but they don't know what it is, like for example money or glory. I mean, I can just talk about guys that I have listened to that have done it. I don't know how it's for women. But for guys, and we know that they're searching glory, they're searching money, they're searching material stuff. And after that experience, they come back to the point that I don't want those things anymore. It's changes the way that they see what they were pursuing after that.
Yes. I mean, all this experience for me transformed me and helped me to let go of, who I am supposed to be, and also the protection mechanism that I had, my ego. I mean, it's still there, right? There's still some protection, but it's like letting go of some layers that was not necessary, just to go back more and more to my spirit, and because when you are connected to your spirit, so to your art, to the divine, to the earth, then you can manifest from above to below, like you can manifest and materialize dreams. And I vomited a lot. I cried a lot. It's not easy because sometimes you see demons, like not demons, but you see like
Scary stuff.
you see your fears somehow. It's like it's not really. It's scary. I mean,
what would you tell to the people, to someone that might be listening who feels in that moment where you were feeling like years ago, like lonely and maybe also in a loop of partying and taking substances?
I would say your thought create your reality. So look into your mind and what you believe about the world, and you will first be aware of your thought, and then when you are aware of what you think and that you are not your thought, you will take action, like going to coaching and therapy to rewire your brain to change this thought. For example, if you believe that you're a shy person and you cannot public speaking, then it's just a belief. Belief is a thought that you repeat more and more. So you can change that. You can become who you want to become. So I never thought I would be able to speak in a podcast,
Really?
or to film myself singing. I did a few days ago. But I did it. I came to this point where I show myself. And so this is about rewiring your brain to think differently, to open your mind, to change your perception of the world, because you create everything. And when you take this responsibility, you empower yourself and you can create everything in the world. You can create babies. Come on. If you can create babies, you can create everything.
Like you are not your thoughts, but also you are your thoughts. You are not, if you're thinking, I am maybe bad, I'm not good at public speaking.
But you are,
But wait, you are good. You're not as bad as you think. You are a good person. You're not a bad person. But at the same time, when you rewire and you say, yeah, it's true, I am a good person, I am capable. Yes, you are also what your thoughts. So it's an interesting thing. And you're not your thoughts, but you are your thoughts.
And also to be able to tell yourself the truth that you are also not a good person. Because sometimes I'm not good. I have my shadows. I'm not 100% good. This is an illusion, like freedom, in Berlin. Like it's like, no, sometimes I'm not so good.
Yeah.
And when you also accept this part of yourself that is not so good, then you accept the entire self, and then you love yourself fully. Because people, we were taught to, like, you have to be good. You have to be a nice person, good person to behave. So everything that is not good, we are feeling guilty, ashamed, and we suppress that part of ourselves. And we never let this part express. So many people are people pleaser. So many people are doing stuff really not authentically. They live their life just because their parents taught them to live the life. Or because... But you can recreate that, everything. It can it take time. You have to be patient and resilient and courageous. And sometimes the pain, and most of the time, the pain is the gift. It's here where you can just transmute it. It's like there are a lot of gift in the pain. Now I love the pain. Because when I see the pain, I see that I see like a game, a challenge, like a video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, now I am level 40.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this level. How can I get into the next level? And you're like, okay. And then you start to see life like a game and not like I am a victim of my life and, like it's the fault of everyone. And
There's a lot of thing that I have been also watching that of how to live or to see your life as a video game. And then you started the point, when you start the video game.
Start again.
First, first of all, the main character has no skills or no weapons or whatever, and you don't know how to play the game. But the more you play, the more you advance the levels, you start unlocking other parts that you didn't know that was able to do, or that you're passing other levels. Your character gets more advanced, can run better, has better weapons, and then until you go to the end of the game and you win.
Yeah, and you always win.
And you always win. And that's if you see your life as nobody created a game where I cannot win. Nobody created an impossible game where you will never be able to enjoy it, at least. So it is a good way to see it if you see it as a video game or as a game. Just learn to.
And I would add love or fear. Always in the game, you're like, do you choose love or do you choose fear? Do you act out of love or out of fear? I always think this. Yeah. What do you choose now? Like, do I react to this person or do I send love? So what would the love do?
Yeah, okay. When you do something, do you do it out of a place of fear or out of a place of love?
Yeah. What does my heart would do now? Like and you start with, okay. And you start, instead of reacting, because reacting is always repeating the past, then you start to be aware in the present and say, okay, now I can choose differently. And this is how you can play the game in a different way and unlock and be more brighter and help the world actually at the end, because with your light you can help the world.
What's a question you've never been asked but you would really love to answer?
How do I describe myself? No, I don't know. This is a classic question, but
how?
Because I can answer differently now.
Yeah.
I think.
How would you describe yourself now?
I would describe myself like a light warrior, a medicine woman, a shaman even. I would describe myself for like someone who made it happen. And if I die tomorrow, I'm super happy and proud of myself. So I've already done the work and I'm happy to continue. But I'm not also afraid to die because I know we are eternal. So
you feel plenty in your life now. What? You feel like
I feel the life can, and I can feel that the life is starting really. Like the most interesting part, the magic, the community, like we can all play together now. It's like, okay, how can we collaborate? How can we make this magic happen? The world we all imagine, like where we all help each other, we all live in nature, and so it's going to happen because we all have this dream somehow. Not all, but in Berlin, most of us, we all have this dream. And yeah.
Cool. Sabrina, it has been a pleasure having you in the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me for this experience. It was so nice.
It was a pleasure.
Great. I hope. Wow.